Hello, students. We're going to cover IDEs real quick. Last year, when I was teaching this class, I had a student, actually it was in the spring, actually several students, that I used a term called IDE, the capital letters IDE. You can see it right here. And students from one of the campuses did not know what an IDE was. I was a little bit scared at that point in time. Basically, an IDE is a term in our industry, the software programming industry, it refers to the integrated development environment. All right, and normally your IDE consists of a tool to write the source code with, a tool to compile the code, and a lot of times a way to debug the code. So that's all it is. Now, that being said, you have several different ones that you can choose from for this particular class. For this particular class, the college, Valencia College, they like you to use Visual Studio. I do highly encourage you to use Visual Studio. It's a free product. You can get it free. I have a video that I've placed somewhere in your folder for downloading it. If you just search, this is tough. Everybody grab your pencil, grab your paper, write this down. But if you search Google Visual Studio download, the links will pop right up. All right, and from there you can install it. Now it's primarily a Windows-based, for the most part, it's a Windows-based tool. And where I'll caution you is if you have an older computer that only has like 4 gigs of memory or even 2 gigs of memory, it's going to be extremely slow and it's not going to run very well. It really, really likes RAM memory, and RAM is the amount of memory that you have inside your computer. So if you have 8 gigs, you're going to be a lot better, which is what most computers have nowadays, is 8 gigs of RAM. 4 gigs it'll run. It's going to be slow. It's going to be cumbersome for a Visual Studio, but it will run. Now, you're also going to see some videos that another professor made. He's a friend of mine, or was a former friend of mine. He's since passed on, and he got a full semester off, or full year off of college, I think it was, to create videos for the different computer courses. I still have his videos in the folders for this class because he was very thorough. He's very soft-spoken, and he does a great job covering the material. For me to go out and create the videos that he did, first of all, I'm not going to get paid for it. The other thing is it would be very, very time consuming. So what I did was I went out and I found other videos that were made by other people online that relate to this course, because maybe you won't like what Archie did. I don't know. I particularly think he was very good. My son had him. My son liked him a lot. My son's very successful in the industry. So I think his videos are good, but they're a little bit outdated. I think he's using like Video Studio 2010 or 2012 from 10 years ago. But it's still going to work the same way. Don't worry about it. He's going to have some good tips in there. And then along with that, of course, I have some videos by other people that are going to help you. Make sure you watch the videos. All right, I'm an instructor that I don't really spoon feed people. In fact, I hate spoon feeding people because it gets you nothing in life. The most important skill set that I give you is the skill set to research, and you'll find that I'll tell you research this, research that. If I have to tell you how to do every homework assignment, you're not going to make it in the real world. I had a student last semester. I really, really liked the guy. He was very knowledgeable. He was working in the industry. He's actually taking programming in addition to, because he was working in a networking field, network engineering field. But he was taking programming and learning about programming. But I literally had to explain I'd have a hello world program, and he would need me to explain what I was asking for. Okay, if you're that guy, one of the things you're going to learn from me is you got to be detail oriented. If you require me to explain every homework assignment to you, you are not going to make a good programmer. Don't waste your money. Sorry, being blunt. Money is a resource. Time is a resource. If you require that much spoon feeding, the programming industry is going to be tough on you. You really, really have to be a go-getter. You have to be able to research on your own. So let's get back to the 3 different environments you have, or the 3 different ones I suggest. Visual Studio is the one I prefer you use. With that, you'll create a folder. It'll put everything all into one. Make sure you do your screenshots. Make sure you have your code, your header files, everything in there. Zip that folder up and you send it to me. I crack it out. I look at the exe file and I go from there. CodeBlocks is another excellent IDE. Now, CodeBlocks can run on just about any other computer. Oh yeah, by the way, Visual Studios does run in Linux and it does run in Mac, on Mac systems. But I don't provide any help in setting up your IDE. I expect you to know how to do that. So if you have problems, chances are somebody's had the problem before you. Go online and research it. That's part of what you're here to do, is you need to learn how to research. Again, you can't have somebody spoon feeding you. So Code Blocks is another one. This is an excellent lightweight IDE. And then the third one that I recommend is called Eclipse. And Eclipse is free. You can just research Eclipse IDE. You can download it. It's free. It works on basically all three of the major operating systems, and I think you'll be good to go. So that's my overview on IDEs. Make sure you understand what they are, because if you're coming to me and you don't know what an IDE is, somebody's failed previously and didn't get that point across to you. You need to know what an IDE is. Probably a great, I mean, if you were with me on a job interview question at a place that created software and you didn't know what an IDE was, what it stood for, and what it did, I wouldn't hire you. All right, so make sure if you learn anything in this class, you know what an IDE is. Thank you and have a good day.